Nobody is coming to save you but you.
Today we're talking about 7 things we wish we knew before we turned 30.
Yes, and if you're new here, we are the Mason Movement Podcast. My name is Jessie.
And I'm B.
And yeah, like B said, we're going to jump right into it. All of the advice that I would give to like 19, 20-year-old me. So yeah, there's nobody coming to save you. You're the one you've been waiting for. You're the love of your life. You have all of the answers already inside of you. And I just also want to say, like, don't place all of your happiness in the hands of another person, because they're going to drop it every single time. And you won't.
Right. I remember, like, you saying that. Like, I remember, like, being even, like, a young girl, going to sleep at night in my room, feeling just like, I was kind of emo. So, like, really in my feels, and just imagining that there would be, like, this Prince Charming, like, coming to save me from, like, all of my worries and my problems. And then this person would just make everything better, and then I would be happy, and then I would be fulfilled. And actually, Prince Charming did come, but it was me.
Exactly. And like, you're gonna waste so much time like waiting around for somebody else. Like, nobody else can fulfill you the way that you can. Like, you are complete all on your own. And like I said, you already have all of the wisdom. You have infinite wisdom within you and your vessel. Like, you know the answers to all of your problems. Like, you are your own problem, but you are also your own solution.
So true. Okay, well, second is very straightforward. No one's staring at you.
Right.
Not everyone is staring at you. Maybe someone is staring at you because they think that you're cute, okay? But, like, no one is staring at you and, like, judging you. Like, I remember going to the gym in my 20s, in college, and I literally thought, when I walked into the gym, every single person stopped, looked at me, and started judging the shit out of me. That was not happening.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's all in your head. And like, our brains are wired to like automatically think the negative. You always kind of like fall towards like, oh my God, this person's like staring at me and judging me. And like, no, they're probably just trying to figure out like what song to play next for their set at the gym. Like, they're looking at themselves.
They're so worried about themselves. They're looking at themselves in the mirror. They're taking a selfie. They're checking themselves out. Like, they're not looking at you,
They're not looking at you. And like, and if they are, like, don't take it personal. They're probably just checking you out.
Nothing's
They probably
personal.
like your tattoos, or if you don't have tattoos, they probably like your smile or your eyes. And they're just going about their business. They're not worried about what you're doing. So don't worry about looking silly or feeling like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yes, you do. You got it. And another thing that I want to touch on, here's another thing that I wish I had known, is not using alcohol as a social crutch.
Number 3,
coming in hot. I feel like I was afraid to be my full authentic self, and I kind of like attached to the story of like, oh, I can't have fun unless I'm drinking. Like, I can't really like let loose and be myself unless I'm like drinking around people, and then I can just like blame it on the alcohol if I like say something weird, or like, if I like crack a joke and it doesn't land, or I'm like running around the streets like hyper and crazy, and like, it was the alcohol,
Yeah, totally. I remember, and this is when my addiction to alcohol started, when I was in college. It was the first time I had drank. I didn't drink in high school. And I was 19 and I was like really getting into my party girl phase, and every weekend I would go out and party. And I thought like, oh, this is just what everyone does. Like, this is the norm. Like, you socialize, you drink, it just goes hand in hand. And yes, while a lot of people were doing that, not everyone was doing that. Like, I did have friends in college that didn't party like I did. But I just convinced myself that like everyone was doing it and that I should do it because I thought it made me more of myself. When in reality, years later, I came to find out that it made me a demon. So.
It made me make poor choices, and it like physically harmed my body, which is coming up in a little bit. We're going to talk about, taking care of your physical body. But do you want to jump into the next one?
Number 4.
4.
You are perfect just as you are.
I love that.
You don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. It just is. It's just simply a fact. We are all perfect as we are. Yes, it doesn't mean, okay, well, I've peaked. I'm good, so I don't have to do any more work on myself. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that, like, at any moment, wherever you are, everything's perfect. Even if your life is like the freaking tower card of the tarot and everything is falling away, you tarot readers, you people that are into tarot will understand, but it's all perfect because we know that it all works out in the end.
And it's all happening for you.
Correct.
Everything's happening for you, even if it feels like it's not. Even if it feels like, oh my God, I'm losing all these people. I'm losing relationships. I don't love my job. I don't feel like I have a purpose. It's all falling away so other things can fall into place. And I know that sounds like a quote from Pinterest, and it probably is. And I've just stored it in my subconscious, and I'm regurgitating it out right now. But, like, there's so much truth in that. Yes, you're worthy just as you are, too. Don't let anybody make you feel less than. And if somebody does, then, like, that is not your person. That is not your people. That is not your tribe. That is not who you want to associate with. Only good vibes.
Yeah. An interesting thing that we both just heard about, we're taking this little course, this little program, and one of the leaders of the group talked about this thing that he does in groups that he leads. So he does this like worthy baby test, and he has like 3 different baby dolls that represent babies, and he asks the crowd which one is the most worthy baby and which one is the least worthy baby. And the point of it is that it's so ridiculous because you can't say which one is more worthy or which one is less worthy because they're all equally as worthy. And that's how we need to see ourselves, because it's true. We just are worthy. There's nothing that the baby needs to do, nothing that the baby needs to say or be. They just simply are. So that really hit home for us. As ridiculous as it was, it really just like touched a part of our soul. So you are worthy,
and
baby.
The baby doesn't have to prove itself to be worthy.
Right.
That really hit. I was like, wow, like that was a like monumental moment for me. I was like, wow, that was a powerful way to like put it into perspective.
Number 5.
Ooh, I love this one. Don't settle. Period. Don't settle in anything. Relationships, friendships, family, work,
jobs,
hobbies. Like, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right, and it's not for you. Don't settle for the bare minimum. I know that you have a crush on this person, but they are crusty, dusty, and you're settling for scraps. And there's somebody who will build a table for you. And
you never built me a table.
Listen, I'm getting to a point, I'm having a moment, who will build a table for you and go plant a garden of produce for you and create a feast and lay it out on the table for you and pull up your chair for you and carry you to the chair and you're settling for crumbs. You're settling for crumbs. Don't do it. There is better out there for you, and if you feel like you're meant for more, that's a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, anything like mediocre in your life, you're definitely settling for. So if you're just like in the monotony of it and it's not sparking any joy or passion, that's a sign that something needs to shift. And maybe it's not this huge like monumental shift where you're like getting a separation and moving to a different state and all those things that I happen to go through, but it could be a very small shift, like incorporating like a morning routine. Maybe you're getting up like 30 minutes earlier and like doing some meditation, and then that like changes the whole course of your day.
Right. Because I found myself, I'm so passionate about this particular piece of advice because I settled in a relationship for like 4 years. I stayed in this because it was comfortable. I was complacent. I was afraid to leave that comfort zone because I was like, oh no, I had this like, story I was attached to, like, oh my God, I'm never going to find anybody else.
Yeah.
This is fine. Like, I can deal with this. Like, I found myself saying, like, here are all the cons, and like, they're not that bad. I can deal with it. I'm not going to find anybody that like meets all the criteria for what I want.
Yeah.
And like, little did I know, there was so much power in me leaving that situation, because on the other side of it, there was a person who did meet all of my criteria, and she's sitting right here.
Hey.
To my right. To my right, your left.
And that's what we are really like passionate about. I think both of us, like just inspiring other queer and allied women to not settle, to be the best versions of themselves, to like, say no to stuff that isn't like a fuck yeah. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no.
Hell
is that
yeah.
what it is? Yeah.
That was like the most monumental piece of advice that was ever given. It changed my life. It's so simple, but I was told by a dear friend one time, if it's not a fuck yes, Jess, it is a fuck no. And I've used that in every area of my life. If something is not a fuck yes, then it truly is a fuck no, and I'm walking away from it.
And we help queer women, really realize this and implement it through our school membership. We have a really cool school community full of like badass queer and allied women who are like wanting and willing and waiting to support you in this journey. So if you're not already in that membership program, go check it out. We're the Mason Movement on School. And also if you want something that's like a little bit more personalized, we do one-on-one sessions, programs where you can really like get in touch with yourself and your true authentic self and figure out, what really is for me, and am I settling, because sometimes we have these questions, and if you're questioning it, there's probably something going on there. So we can help you, in a more personalized approach with one-on-ones. So, comment on this wherever you're watching it from. You can DM us. Our socials are all linked. We're the Mason Movement on pretty much everything. So, yeah, we'd love to help you. We're here for you. We see you. We got you.
We are you.
We are you.
Beautiful. So,
okay.
Yeah, number 6.
Number
6. We're, circling back to this. I mentioned it earlier, but take care of your physical health. The things that you consume, and I mean consume not just like food, but your music, TV shows, movies, your environments that you're in, that you're placing yourself in, friendships, all of these things influence you and affect your mental health. So being more conscious of all of these things that you're consuming every single day and making more conscious choices.
Yep.
That is like a huge piece of advice I would have given to, my 21-year-old self.
And if you're, sort of like a very structured, very disciplined, like super hard on yourself person, like I am, well, like I used to be, I'm not going to claim that identity anymore because I'm really shifting away from it. But, my younger self was very much like, okay, now that I've heard that I've, have to be more conscious and, get rid of like all these like quote unquote bad things that I'm consuming, I have to do it and I have to do it now. And that created so much anxiety for me. And then a lot of shame when I would make these commitments to myself and I wouldn't be able to like follow through. So for instance, I used to be a person that escaped through television, especially reality TV. And so as I started to become more conscious and awake and aware, I was like, oh, like I'm watching these shows, but like I'm all tense. Like my shoulders are up to my freaking ears and my jaw is tightening up and I don't feel good after I watch these. I feel super overstimulated. So it wasn't like, okay, right then and there, I was like, okay, no more reality TV. I'm done. It sort of happened in stages. And so I became aware, okay, these shows are causing this sort of reaction in me. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm going to be aware that maybe this isn't the best for my body and my consciousness. If it goes in stages, that's totally fine. That's beautiful. That's actually a really great way to sort of shift to not like shock your nervous system, like baby steps. That's okay to like stretch just little by little. And then eventually, okay, yeah, I'm not watching this show anymore. And then eventually, oh, I'm not watching that and I'm going to consume this instead. So that's what I would have liked to hear.
Absolutely. Because you know what? Real Housewives of New York had me so tense. Had me so angry and like pissed and like just real, like I felt myself getting like sucked in complete. Like I actually thought I knew these people. I was like commenting like, oh no, the fuck, she did not just say that. Like how dare she? Terrible.
So good.
Yes. But like B said, as soon as you're aware of it, you're taking inventory and you're making those small gradual shifts and being more aware and conscious of your choices moving forward. So, number 7, bring us home, baby.
Number 7 is probably the most potent for myself. Presence over perfection.
Love it.
So yeah, I used to be a person that was super like type A perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect. If I wasn't good at it, if I wasn't perfect at it, instantly, it wasn't for me. I was done. Okay, I can't do that, which is kind of ridiculous, when you sort of bring it into the light and bring it into your consciousness. So something that's been helping me, at least the past couple of weeks, has been presence over perfection. You have a perfectionist part too.
Oh, 100%. I feel like I used to everything like in my life had to be a certain way. Like I felt like I couldn't function if my house wasn't perfect or in like, and that I later on discovered that was like a way of me feeling in control when everything else was out of control.
Same.
And I was able to, once I became aware of that, release that and like everything doesn't have to be perfect all the time. You don't need to be perfect. And also, that stems from childhood.
Yeah.
And that's very much tied to, for me personally, feeling like I had to earn love through acts of service and be perfect for my parents all the time. I always wanted to say the right things, do the right things, be the right thing in order to receive love. And that is not the case. You don't have to be perfect.
No, you won't be. Because you won't be. You will fail at being perfect every time. You might get close, but no. There was something that I wanted to say with this.
Okay, we'll take your time. We've given a lot, so
hey,
maybe people need a little intermission. I don't know.
I'm not being perfect right now.
You're not being perfect.
Okay, this is like a perfect example.
I know, because old you maybe would have melted down and be like, oh my God, we gotta re-record the whole thing.
Yeah,
no, I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
If it comes to me, it comes to me. I don't think it's going to come back, but Yeah, presence over perfection. That is number 7.
Mm-hmm.
7 things we wish we knew before we were 30.
Just a little recap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna Nobody's coming to save you. Not everyone is staring at you and judging you, baby. Don't use alcohol as a social crutch. Be yourself. You are perfect just the way that you are, and you are worthy of everything that you want in life. Don't settle for crusty, dusty ass people. There are other people waiting for you that aren't crusty, dusty, okay? Take care of your physical health because ultimately it affects your mental state.
You have this body, this vessel, for the rest of your life.
Right. It's the only one you got for this life in particular.
The only one.
And presence over perfection. I'm like holding up like I don't know, so many
I got
fingers.
it. I got
you got
it.
it. You got the
7.
fingers. Okay.
Awesome. So let us know which one resonated with you the most. Let us know what advice maybe that we didn't talk about, because there's so much that you would have, given to your younger self. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you. We love connecting with new people. Welcome to our community. Welcome to the Mason Movement. You can find us on TikTok and YouTube at the Mason Movement, Instagram _the Mason Movement, Threads _ the Mason Movement. What up, Threads? Anything else?
That's it, baby. We're working on the underscore, though. We're working on trying to get that underscore removed, but that's okay.
I think it's fine.
Presence over perfection, right?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's fine.
All right. We'll see you later, y'all.